Hello, students. Uh, this is our second session of the chapter Cell, the Unit of Life. In the first session, we have learned about the definition of the cell, which all organelles are present inside the cell, how the discovery of microscope took place, what is about the cell theory, what is cell theory. Okay. Now today, we are going to study about what all organelles are present inside the cell, where are they located, and their functions. So students, you have to keep in mind the organelle, their location and function is very, very important. It is usually asked in the exam, so you have to be very thorough with it. Only the location and the function. You need not have to study the diagram in detail of the respective organelles. So first we have nucleus. Okay, so this is an animal cell. So nucleus, as you can see here, this part is a nucleus. This is a plant cell and nucleus is situated over here. So if you see, the nucleus is usually round in shape or it is oval in shape, as in case of plant and animal cell. And it is always surrounded by the nuclear membrane. So always you will see a nuclear membrane which surrounds the nucleus. And if you see the location, always nucleus lies in the center of the animal and the plant cell. Okay, so nucleus is always surrounded by the nuclear membrane. It lies in the center of the cell and it is round or oval. Okay, this is a detailed view of the nucleus. As you can see, it has an outer membrane, inner membrane. Each nucleus has a nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm is a fluid-like structures. Like how do we have cytoplasm in the cell? Likewise, in the nucleus, we have nucleoplasm. Each nucleus will have one nucleolus at least in it. Okay, some cells have even more than one nucleus. Now nucleolus, now this is nucleolus, so each cell, each nucleus has at least one nucleolus, but in some cases there can be more than one nucleolus also. The number of nucleoli is not fixed, and this nucleolus is responsible for protein synthesis. So what have we learned? Nucleus is round or oval in shape. It is always situated in the center of the cell and it is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. Like how cell is surrounded by a cell membrane, likewise nucleus is surrounded by nuclear membrane. Inside the nucleus, we have nucleoplasm. Again, it is same like cytoplasm, a fluid-like structure. Now, in this nucleoplasm, we in here over here, you are seeing something known as chromatin. So this chromatin fibers, they are thread-like structures. So when cell division takes place, what happens? This chromatin fibers become thick, sorry, and ribbon-like. So this chromatin, they are thread-like structures, and when the cell division take place, they become thick, they become ribbon-like, and then they are known as chromosomes. You must have heard about chromosomes. They carry your genetic materials from the parents to the offspring. So some characters we resemble with some characters to our parents, right? We may have the eye color maybe same with one of the parent, or maybe your type of hair may be resembling one of your parent. So these genetic characters are transmitted from a parent to the offspring with the help of chromosomes. So chromosomes are made up of chromatin fibers which contains or which are composed of hereditary units known as genes. So chromosome carry the genes which are responsible for transmitting of hereditary characters from one generation to other. Now this number of chromosomes is always definite in each species, okay? Like if you take an example of human beings, we all belong to the same species, right? That is Homo erectus. Sorry, Homo sapiens. So we all have the same species. So the number of chromosome in all human beings will be same. So every human body cell, so each cell inside our body has 46 chromosomes. That means we have 23 pairs of chromosomes in each cell of our body. Likewise, there are different organisms which will have different types of number of chromosomes. For example, Ascaris has 2 chromosomes in each cell. An onion has 16 chromosomes in each cell. Honeybee has 32 chromosomes. Mouse has 40 chromosomes, and so on. Okay, so all the animals which belong to the same species will have same number of these chromosomes. Let us see the function of nucleus. From this, we have learned that nucleus is the control center of the cell. All the activities which are happening inside the cell are controlled by the nucleus, and it contains chromosomes. So chromosomes contain genes which are responsible for transmission of hereditary characters. So this is a quick recap. Nucleus directs all the cell activities, it controls all the cell activities. It is separated from the cytoplasm by a nuclear membrane. So here you can see a nuclear membrane which separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm of the cell. And a nucleus contains genetic material or the DNA. Okay, DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, which is present in us. These are the part of the nucleus. Here you can see a nucleolus, and this is how a chromosome looks like. It has a short arm and a long arm. We are not going to study the detailed structure of chromosomes. Now coming to nuclear membrane. Each nucleus is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. It is made up of 2 layers. Openings allow material to enter and leave the cell. So it has the opening, if you see, it has minute pores on it which will allow the entry and exit of certain substances. Then coming to the next organelle, that is endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum is an irregular network of double membranes. If you look here, it is made up of 2 membranes, or it is made up of double membranes, and the shape is irregular. Okay. Now there are 2 types of endoplasmic reticulums: smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now, smooth endoplasmic reticulum actually lacks the ribosomes. Okay, so here you can see in this picture, this part, there are no ribosomes present. Ribosomes are the small, minute, round structures which you can see. So smooth endoplasmic reticulum lack ribosomes, whereas on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, this is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Here you can see n number of ribosomes present on it. Okay, so these are round, small bodies all over the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is very fine structures. So it is only seen through the electron microscope. We cannot see endoplasmic reticulum in our normal microscope. Okay. Now the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. Coming to the functions, they help in transportation of materials. Okay. So it forms a supporting framework of the cell. Why does it form a supporting framework of a cell? Because it helps in distribution of materials or transportation of materials from one cell to the other. So these are the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so what we have learned about the endoplasmic reticulum, it is irregular in shape, and it is bilayered. It is of 2 types, smooth and rough. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum do not have ribosomes, whereas rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes. Okay, so these are ribosomes. These are tiny round structures, dark structures which you see in the cytoplasm. Sometimes they are even scattered in the cytoplasm, and sometimes they are present on this endoplasmic reticulum. They can be free floating or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Function of ribosome, they are the protein synthesis in our body takes place inside this ribosomes. So they are the protein factories. They are full of proteins. So whatever protein synthesis takes place inside our body happens with the help of ribosomes. Okay, so they assemble protein which is used in growth, repair, control. You all know that for growth, for repairing of our body, for repairing of cells, for repairing of tissues, everything we need proteins. They are the building blocks. So this synthesis of proteins happens in the ribosomes. Our next organelle is mitochondria. Mitochondria is known as a powerhouse of the cell. Okay, now this small structure, okay, a rod-like structure which you see, a cylindrical structure, is mitochondria. So it is rod shaped, as you can see here. This is a magnified view. It has two membranes. Okay, this one is the outer membrane and this one is the inner membrane. So this is a section of mitochondria which is shown. So it has got two membranes, outer membrane and an inner membrane. Okay, it is the inner membrane is folded. Okay, folded, and these foldings are known as cristae. So inner membranes of mitochondria are always folded and they are known as cristae. Coming to functions of mitochondria. Now, mitochondria are the sites where cell respiration occurs. So here in mitochondria, the cellular respiration takes place, or cellular respiration inside our body happens in the mitochondria. So because of the cellular respiration, it will release energy, right? And this energy is stored in the form of ATP. So whenever we respire, what happens? The food is oxidized. And because of the oxidation of the food, some amount of energy is released inside our body. So this energy that is released is saved in the form of ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate, okay, which is present, which is stored inside our body. So that is why mitochondria is known as a powerhouse of the cell. Then we have Golgi bodies, okay. Now this irregular, again folded structures which you can see flattened, they are flattened sac-like structures. They are known as Golgi bodies. Okay, this is the more magnified view which is shown over here. Functions of Golgi bodies are, they are helpful in processes, packages, and secretes materials like hormones and enzymes. So Golgi apparatus, they are also known as the delivery system of the cell. Okay, they are always in the form of granules, as you can see. Granules, they are, in case of plant cell, you can see them in the form of granules. In case of animal cell, they are in the form of foldings, okay, or flattened sac-like structures. Okay, and they are supposed to be originated from endoplasmic reticulum. So these Golgi bodies are always originated from the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay? The other way around, they are always located near the nucleus, like the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is also located near the nucleus. Golgi bodies are also located near the nucleus. So function is, it helps in secretions of the cells, including hormones, enzymes, etc. Then materials that are transported by the endoplasmic reticulum usually stop first at the Golgi bodies, where they are stored or altered before moving to the other parts of the cell. So materials which are usually transported by the endoplasmic reticulum, before they are transported from one cell to another, they have to pass through these Golgi bodies, where they are stored temporarily or they can be altered if required before they are passed on to the new cell. Okay, then in the next class, we are going to study about the lysosomes, their location and their function. Thank you so much, students.